Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Online here. Welcome back to another video. Of course, as always, it looks like we won't have to wait too long for some more news on The Last of Us Part 2 and possibly the most anticipated factions mode. Yeah, Naughty Dog just announced today that they are going to be bringing back Outbreak Day. This time they are renaming it in light of the events that has happened this year, the little global pandemic that is COVID. Yeah, Last of Us Day is now going to be its new name. Naughty Dog came out and tweeted out this morning kind of their plans. This was tweeted as that whole typical delay slash cancellation announcement. I was like, great, what's going to happen here? But luckily, it's not bad news at all. It's actually some good news. So let's read what they have to say. For the last 7 years, September 26th has been an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the incredible passion of the Last of Us community. However, as we thought about the events of the last year and the challenges we all continue to face with COVID-19, we didn't feel right continuing on under the Outbreak Day banner. While the name and date are rooted in the fiction of the game, September 26th means so much more than lore. It's about showing our appreciation for our fans. That's why, this Saturday and moving forward, September 26th will be known as The Last of Us Day, a name that not only acknowledges the world around us but also reflects the growth of the community, as we welcome millions of new players with the release of The Last of Us Part 2. We have a lot of exciting things planned, and we can't wait to share them with you in a few days. Now that part, the last sentence there, I think is the one that everyone's kind of taking to and running with as, exciting kind of confirmation that they have some announcements planned for this weekend. We have gotten some pretty big announcements in the past, with Outbreak Day. Like last year, I believe, we got the gameplay impressions from the press. That's also when the whole entire debacle happened where they confirmed that Last of Us Part 2 wouldn't ship with multiplayer. And of course, ever since then, pretty much any tweet with The Last of Us Part 2 related, you have all these factions fans, rightfully kind of asking for an update or just, begging for multiplayer news. And yeah, obviously Last of Us Part 1's faction mode was really underrated in my opinion. I still go back to it sometimes, I still play it more than Uncharted 4 multiplayer, I gotta say. Very simple but very solid to play, and I've been waiting for some factions news. So honestly, this is very exciting, obviously, this Saturday that we could possibly be getting a tease. It's not confirmed that it's going to be factions, but I gotta say, to have an announcement like this, they gotta know that fans have been waiting for this. You look at the reply to all their tweets in the last few months, ever since the main game has shipped, and everyone's just like, factions, factions, factions. They're not dumb. They have to know, obviously, the demand for this, and we'll at least get some kind of update on it. I'm not sure how substantial it should be. It obviously depends on how, ready they are and how big and ambitious this whole thing is. The main game did ship a few months ago, so obviously, you want to announce it sooner than later before The Last of Us Part 2 kind of, not becomes irrelevant or anything like that, but just kind of fades away from the conversation, especially as, next generation comes here. I always predicted that we would get some kind of announcement this fall. You look at the past record of any Naughty Dog, release, and Last of Us came out in 2013, and later that fall they announced Left Behind and Uncharted 4 at that, PlayStation 4 launch event. That was actually kind of similar to what I was predicting here. Some kind of event we'd get factions announced this fall. And it looks like they're just going to stick with Outbreak Day, which is completely fine for me. It's in a few days here. And ultimately, besides factions, while I'm hoping there is a trailer there, I wouldn't say it's confirmed or anything like that. I hope they show some kind of footage, especially since there's been, obviously leaks of the multiplayer for the past few months now. I believe those builds were back from 2018. But besides that, I think this event actually could have two possibly more announcements, and that comes into the way of The Last of Us 2 on PS5 and their HBO show. So I think that Naughty Dog would want to outline or, Last of Us Part 2 PS5 plans here. I hope they address it, whether they're planning on doing a remaster, which I hope it's not going to be the case, or if they just do a simple patch, which is where I'm kind of leaning towards. Yeah, we just recently saw that Spider-Man PS4 is going the way of the remaster. While they're here on Outbreak Day and talking to the fans, why not just give an update on what they plan, as, hype for next generation is probably at its peak right now, as the consoles are literally shipping in a few weeks. What are their plans for Last of Us Part 2? And yeah, I hope they outline that. And yeah, I also think we might get an update on the Last of Us HBO show. Neil Druckmann and Craig have been working on that, I presume, ever since, Part 2 has shipped. I don't think we're going to get anything, too big here, obviously, considering COVID and everything. But I do think that, hopefully we get an idea of who's going to be playing Joel and Ellie and maybe some other big characters like Tess or Bill. That would be pretty cool. Just kind of get the cast out there, because that's news that we still have yet to receive. And usually that's something that we find somewhat earlier, in production for these kind of shows and movies. So that would be pretty solid overall. And yeah, I hope that would be a pretty solid show. Scott Lowe has has tweeted out saying that they're going to be announcing kind of like what they're planning for this Saturday, to give expectations of what this event will be later on in this week. So look out for that tweet. I'll probably tweet it on my Twitter if you want to follow me at OnlineZhD. Whenever we get that kind of announcement there, that'll be pretty exciting. So yeah, this Saturday hopefully will be pretty exciting for us. Have been waiting for some sort of multiplayer update. Again, it's not confirmed for it to be anything substantial. Hell, it's not even confirmed to actually be there, but I wouldn't put it past it. I'm pretty much sure that 80-90% sure that they're going to have to address factions here, and hopefully the update is good. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys are all doing well. I have some exciting plans for the channel as we get near and near to the PS5 launch. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell while you're here, as we'll be covering all things factions related and PlayStation 5 in the coming weeks and months ahead. Follow me on Twitter at OnlineZhD for updates and more. And until next time, take care.